The Athletic, as our football for today, The Athletic put out, and Joe Person, who writes for The Athletic, conducted an anonymous fan survey for the Carolina Panthers. So they tried to get kind of the pulse of the Carolina Panthers fan base. And what I took away from it is Panthers fans are exceptionally lukewarm on the Panthers this season. They're exceptionally almost excited, not quite boiling, right? They're exceptionally wanting to be excited about the Carolina Panthers this year. With almost every question on the Athletics Panther fan survey, which you can check out at the Athletic. I encourage you to do so. You can follow Joe Person on Twitter. He has links. That's usually how I find out about it. With almost every question, the Panthers' majority was one below the most excited. As if almost they are afraid to let themselves get all the way excited. Right? If there is how do you feel about Bryce Young, 1 through 5, with 5 being the most excited, we'll go 4. Right? After Dave Canales' first season, how do you feel about the future of the franchise? Very optimistic, somewhat optimistic, not optimistic at all, or to be determined? Well, we're not going to go very optimistic. 55% choose somewhat optimistic. Panther fans are excited, but they're holding back. Panther fans are trying to hold their water, right? They're trying to hold back. Maybe it's to prevent themselves from getting hurt. Maybe one too many times you've let your imagination run away with you, and now you're throwing the brakes on and saying, I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to fall for it again. I'm not going to get my hopes all the way up again because they're just going to pull the rug out from under me. Isn't that part of it, though? Isn't that part of it? Seems like every answer is the conservative answer. Here's one for you. Besides Teteroa McMillan, who is their number 1 first-round draft pick, number 8 overall, which draft pick will make the most impact as a rookie? Well, guess what it does? It goes in order. Nick Scorton, the majority, 52%, chose Nick Scorton. He was a second-round pick. 24%, next most, Princely Umanmielen, the third-round pick. The 2 fourths, Trevor Etienne, Lathan Ransom, they're up next. It just goes down the list in order. What is your biggest concern entering the 2025 season? Is it the defense? Is it Bryce Young? Is it kicking, field goal, PAT? Defense majority, 54%. Bryce Young next, 43%. That is par for the course. I want somebody to be bold. I want the fan base to be bold about the Carolina Panthers this year. Everything that they've done is just, and by the way, like there's a lot of votes here, hundreds of votes on each of these selections. So it's not like I'm looking for one person. I want the fan base to allow themselves to break groupthink, right? To go a little crazy. To think, hey, we drafted a wide receiver number 8 overall. Maybe he's going to be generational. What grade would you give GM Dan Morgan for his work since last season? The options are letter grades, A, B, C, D, F. B, the overwhelming majority. B, right? Everything is a B. I can't help but think you're just trying to avoid being exceptionally wrong. Right? Because if it's great, you're like, yeah, we gave him a B. If it's bad, you're like, well, we gave him a B. I think the Panthers have conditioned. This is what I'm getting at. I think the Panthers have conditioned their fans to be terrified of high expectations. Brought in Matt Rule, got excited. Wheels fell off pretty quickly. Brought in Frank Reich, got excited. Drafted Bryce Young, got excited. Wheels fell off pretty quickly. So now Dave Canales has showed signs of life. Bryce Young showed signs of life last year. Some of the young guys have started putting things together, and you're like, I'm not doing it again. This is different, right? Judge every situation equally. I think this is different. Do I think they're going to go out there and be the 85 Bears, and they're going to win the Super Bowl, and they're going to dominate? No, I don't. Do I think they're even going to be like the second in the division, 10-win team? No, I don't. But you can be excited while understanding if they win 8 games, throw a party. 8 games is an A. 8 games is you should be as confident as possible. How many games will the Panthers win? This might be the most aggressive that they were fans were in the survey. 8-9, the number 1 pick. The smart money is probably on 6-7, but 8-9, the number 1 pick, over 60% of you. Well, if that's the case, you got to be higher somewhere else. I'm not excited about any individual thing, but the team is going to way overperform. How does that add up? Where's the math? We'll go into some of them throughout, but this one I thought was interesting. On a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being most confident, how confident are you in David Tepper, that's the owner, and the team's decision makers, that's Dan Morgan, Dave Canales, and Brant Tillis? Got a 4 out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the option 5 the best. 42%, a majority went with 4. David Tepper getting being a part of even a group that got a 4 out of 5? Would not have predicted that before the season. Maybe that's the most bold.